But especially, here's the thing. I want to talk about non-denominational churches for just a moment, if I will. I used to think for a long time that non-denominational churches were just churches that just couldn't decide what they believe in, right? And then I realized that from going to a couple different churches, non-denominational churches, especially this one out in Roy City, Texas, a big one. A lot of people go to it. I actually had a couple different services, I think. It was different from any church I'd ever gone to. It didn't even really have a church feel. It bothered me a lot because I went inside this church and they had right off the bat, as soon as you walk into the church, there's a nachos, kind of like at a ball game almost. And you're able to take those things and go into the sanctuary, sit at a round table with your hat on, and eat while you listen to the message. And the message wasn't a Bible put on the thing usually. It was just a pamphlet, and it was very loud music. So if you didn't know it was a church, you would think this was like a bar, with non-alcoholic bar with loud Christian music, a Christian hangout bar kind of thing. And I thought, man, this just seems wrong. But I seen more about what they do and stuff, and I was like, well, they're really trying to help people with their hurts, habits, and hang-ups. Yeah, they may not be doing it the way I would, but at least they got it open and they're trying. So, I mean, I wasn't mad. Because people were showing it to praise God. Maybe they weren't doing it exactly the way I think they should do it or anything else, but it's only because we've been taught wrong and they're following other people's lead. You see, when I go to a church, that's a sacred place. That when you're in the sanctuary, it should be treated with respect, that's God's house. I remember a conversation I had here recently with a pastor, and I asked him, I said, I was brought up that there was a lot of people wearing hats in the church. And I came up to her and I said, I was brought up that wearing hats in church because the pastor himself had wore a hat inside church while he was up there talking. And I said, when I was raised, I was brought up that wearing hats in church was just, disrespectful or whatever. And he says, yeah, that's kind of what it is. It's kind of an Old Testament thing, I think. It sounds like it, whatever. He says, respect. So that tells me, take your hat off, right? If it's respectful to show, then why are you getting the answer from him? And I could have called my old pastor, Brother Dwayne Crane, or I could have called him and talked to Kenny Andrews over in Texas, in Rockwall, my old youth leader. I could have talked to several different people. But I decided to study the Word and ask the Word, what does the Bible say about wearing hats in the sanctuary or in church? What's it about wearing hats?